So this is my third ride on him. We're just getting used to each other. I'm just kind of seeing where he's at and starting to develop the feel I want. So I'm just going to show you some of the things that I would do with a horse before I go to the barrel pattern. And it's just kind of playing it out. Like I like to do figure eights, straight line circles, preparing for turns and whatnot, and just having nice fluid with both of us. So I'm going to demonstrate some of the things I've been working on. So just being cautious and aware of my hand position. I like to think that I'm holding a stick. So with that, my inside hand goes kind of towards my horn to get that shape. I use my inside hand and foot at the same time, and that's gonna get him the shape I want to make the turn. So I just kind of get him up, push him up around these circles, and then when I'm ready, ask him to just kind of straighten up a little bit, and then we'll go to a barrel. So here again, my hands are wide. I'm gonna bring my inside towards my inside foot, little and body to get some shape, and then just ask him to make some circles around this barrel. So making sure I'm hitting all my points. I like to make perfect circles and making sure that I'm getting up and around to every spot. So, he's doing good. He's listening to my inside hand, because when we go fast, again, I like to work backwards. So it's like when I go fast, I just want to be able to pick my inside hand up and drive him forward with my body. And this is just a good way for us to start developing that relationship. So if he kind of drifts out, I might use a little bit of outside rein, outside foot, but for the most part, I'm just focusing on my inside hand going to my horn, getting that, like right here, he's a little lazy, but again, it's just part of the process, getting to know each other and what their styles are. So here, if I really want him to come around, I'm just going to kind of pull a little bit harder with that inside and see how he can do a little bit smaller of a circle. And I'm not really changing a whole lot other than my body positioning, asking him to tighten up his turn. So here I'm going to go straight, get my inside up to my horn, inside foot. There, you got a nice shape there. Come around, just make nice fluid circles. I'm looking ahead, using that inside as the guide kind of. So my inside hand again is up towards my horn. My outside hand I want to put forward, because if you're thinking of holding a stick, so this is balanced and straight, this is going to go to the left. So see how my inside hand comes towards me, my outside hand has to go forward, because we're trying to free up those shoulders. We want nice movement, moving them ahead. You can't get that when you're pulling both hands back, so it's kind of like something has to give. So when you're doing your circles, just be mindful of that, of thinking of your hands almost like a skid steer. One has to go forward, your inside hand comes back towards you, your outside has to go forward. So if I want to go straight, I just put both hands straight and we can go down a straight line. Good boy. Doing good. So from here, again, like we're just playing around a little, but I might start going straight ahead. Again, shaping, pushing him forward, making sure he's not cutting off any spots. So it's really hard for horses almost to do, like to get shape and move forward. So here, it's just all about kind of driving them forward with my hips. Like if you notice, I try not to really do any major adjustments, like as far as my hip goes. I just use it as kind of like propelling them forward, and we want balanced. So with balance comes just kind of sitting centered, driving ahead. Good, we're following. So here it's like, just pick a circle. He seems to be a little bit more lazy going to the left. Come on. But we'll work through that. And when I'm doing these circles, you can even think of doing an oval, so really pushing them up and forward and then getting them to come around. Again, you can keep it interesting. So here I'm going to pick up and think of driving him forward a couple steps before I let him turn in. And you can just do that with any barrel, like think of an oval. So here I'm going to pick up early, I'm going to drive him forward and then let him come around. So then when I let him come around, I just try to teach him that my body position changes. So when I'm going ahead, I'm kind of pushing him forward. Then when I want to turn, I'm going to sit a little bit back and see how he'll tighten up the turn a little bit. And again, this the exact thing we want on the barrel pattern. It's going to be, we want them to shape but go ahead like this, but then we also, when we kind of sit and come around, we want him to come around my inside hand. So see right here, my inside hand is almost like the guide. So my inside hand means kind of follow around and come around that hand. We're going nice and straight, go this way. So again, notice my hand position. I want to use my hand and body at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead, push him forward, kind of drive him ahead, sitting really square with my body when you do that, because we want to go straight. We want shape, but we also just want him to go in a straight line, but get shape. He's a little lazier to the left, but that's fine. So here, I'm just going to push him forward, ask for him to just learn and start to come around my hand. So he's a little bit stiffer this way, which is fine, but see how my inside hand is up at my horn, my outside hand is forward. We're trying to just like free up those shoulders, so when we get to the backside, he can just pivot and leave straight for the next barrel. And this is just literally like the very beginning of what I want to do, but just when you're with these horses, think of going backwards. So think of what would it look like in a run. How do you want it to feel? And I mean, we're all different, and that's what is kind of cool about training horses, is we all have our own way that we think it should work. So with me, I just want him to respect my inside enough, but I don't want him to be scared of my inside. I want him to come around my inside hand. So let's say, this is my first barrel. I'm going to have that shape, push him forward, but let him come around that inside. Do you notice I'm not pulling him? I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to teach him to follow my inside and to follow his nose. So the more inside you have, the more they're going to be shaped, the more turn. So here, I'm going to pick up, go ahead, behind the barrel, drive him forward, and then go ahead. You can turn them twice, you can turn them once. Make sure it follows me. Good, follow me. We're going to go ahead to the third. So, I mean, when you're on such a young horse, you just got to go through the motion. Like, you just got to let them figure things out. It's not going to be perfect, but as long as you stay consistent. So here he's just like stiffer. Again, I don't know the horse, maybe we need a more flexible bit, but here it's kind of like push him around, get that nose. He's looking at the gate. But I'm going to just turn it, come on, man. I'm going to just turn it again until I get him to round himself. That was a little bit better. So push him forward. There. And then we can leave nice and straight. And that's kind of, my early stages. Oh, good boy. Oh, he's a little tiring, but those are my early stages for getting a horse ready for the pattern and how I'll start incorporating the barrels and just the circles, the straight lines. And then when we go to the pattern, he's going to be so broke on what is expected that it doesn't matter what pattern we're doing. Obviously, we're going to do a clover leaf, but at the same time, in his brain, he's just going to be listening and knowing the body position. So we like to just always do the same thing. Like, nothing changes from doing this type of stuff as opposed to the barrel pattern. So that's a little bit of an intro. His name's Ducky. And yeah, we're going to get him ready for next year. He's 3, so we'll probably get him good to run as a 4-year-old. Hey, bud. He's good. Come on.